banana cheese pie. And by the time you can turn on this, he's already in position to where he can flick it over. Be the one smart player on the field. Don't be a part of the poop show, because all the offense is over on this side and there's nothing going on over here. So all these players sort of... Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel for another video, another replay analysis. You guys love these replay analysis I do on my channel. I got a bunch of them now. If you want to go watch some other ones, get some more, tips and stuff, they're there on the channel. Check them out. But today, this is a Champ 2 ranked player that we are doing analysis for in 2v2, and they told me that they've actually peaked at 1500, which is about, I think, around GC1. So this player might have better mechanics than you're used to seeing in Champ 2, but nonetheless, they said they have D-ranked hard lately, and they're looking for me to point out some reasons why they might be D-ranking so much lately. That's what we're here to do. But before we get into the replay analysis, guys, do me a favor. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, leave a like on the video, and scroll down to the description, open up the description, and follow me on Twitch. I stream a lot, guys. I stream as much as possible. And yeah, it's always super fun and super exciting when I see new faces, new names there, and we get people chatting in there. Always a good time. But with that out of the way, let's get into this analysis. All right. Cheating up on Kickoff. I like that. Grabs a mid boost. Already might not see that aerial wall play for somebody who's actually Champ 2. We're gonna have to keep a close eye on this and figure out what's going wrong. Why is he D-ranking so much? Let's back it up a little bit more. Right after he makes a shot, what does he do? Tries to go for a bump. Okay. Ball flies up, covers his net. Well done. Rolls the ball up his back wall, grabs the corner boost, and right here, this is actually a bad play because all you did here by hitting this, clearing this down to the middle of the field was gave, what's his name back there? As you can see, Rands. He gets a free touch now. He gets a free clear back to your end, or he can bang it off your backboard. He can bang it off the ceiling and go for another touch. He can pass it to his teammate to his left, who's flipping across that way. You just gave him a ton of options with that clear straight down the middle of the field. So instead, what you could have done here is actually, you see your teammate coming to net. Either you drop this to the right side of the field instead of hitting this straight down the middle. Take your touch towards the right side of the field so that your teammate can go grab that corner boost. Because I'm sure when is it not a good idea to get some boost, right? I'm sure he would love to be able to go get that back right corner boost. So hit it towards his side of the field actually. And then he can go grab that corner boost and stay on the ball and make a play, and your team keeps possession. Your teammate's nice and fully boosted up. You'll still have a decent amount of boost and you'll be in a much better position. Or try to just air dribble that and take a 50-50 probably as you come towards the ground with Karans, right? Something to try and keep possession of this ball rather than just hitting it to their back man and he gets a free clear or a free touch back to your end. So yeah, either air dribble that into a 50-50 or hit that off to the right side so your teammate can stay on the ball, most likely grab boost and then stay on the ball. You always want to make sure your touches are either a shot or some sort of touch that puts a lot of pressure on your opponents, or it's a pass, whether that be a pass to your teammate or a pass to yourself. Any other touch, literally any other touch is just a waste of a touch. Either you want to be passing or you want to be taking a touch that puts pressure on your opponents. That was neither of those two things. Always want to keep possession for your team as often as possible. Let's see. Teammate goes up, takes a 50-50, bounce out your sidewall. I don't hate that you're up for this ball. I don't hate it. Just because it was more in your half, so leaving that and possibly getting beat to it could put you under a lot of pressure that could have been avoided by you going for it. So for that reason, because the ball was in your half in the air right there, I don't mind you actually going up for that. And we see a little bit of awkwardness here. He just gets a pretty good pop, catches you off guard. Turn because your teammate's behind you. Ideally, he should get that touch. But you also didn't have to dive at this ball. After you turned, there's really no way that you're gonna come out of this challenge on top, right? See if we go back a little bit more, give you some more time to see what's happening. Bam, by the time you can turn on this, he's already in position to where he can flick it over you, he can hit it around you. He has you beat 99% of the time. So instead of diving and taking yourself out of the play here, you can still force his hand. You can force him to do something by just driving up towards him, staying on the ground, or even just planting yourself on the ground right here in place in case he tries to dribble or something. You just literally are sitting there in front of him, waiting for him to run the ball into you. So instead of diving and taking yourself out of the play, you could have just sat there, could have just drove on the ground, would have had the same outcome, the same result, except you'd be able to get back a lot faster. You could actually be about where Looter is right now, bumping him, harassing him. They might not have actually finished this goal. Let's see this. Okay, here, honestly, I heavily advise never driving straight across the field in this direction. Actually, let me pull out my pen. Let me go to a fly view. We're gonna give this a nice bit of effort in this explanation here, because this is something I actually try to explain quickly when it happens in my streams and my live streams, but it's hard to get across the point that I try to make sometimes, because this is kind of something that requires a little bit more of an in-depth analysis or in-depth discussion. So let's go through it really quick. Okay, in this situation, 2s or 3s, oh my goodness, excuse me. Okay, in this situation, you're all the way over here. Your teammate's over here grabbing this boost, and then I think he turns this way just to make sure there's not a hard clear coming over his head or something. What I always, not always, but most of the time tell people is you should never drive across the entire field in this direction. What would you call that? Laterally, right? You can either drive across the field in this direction, or you can drive across the field in this direction. I heavily am against it when people drive across the field from one side all the way over to the other side to challenge a ball. What you should do in this situation is actually, you can drive this direction, but once the ball, if he's still over on this half of the field, by the time you hit the midway point of the field, ideally, this is no longer your ball to challenge, right? If you've ever played basketball or you know anything about basketball, there's a term called help defense. And what that essentially is imagine this is a basketball field. We've got the net here. This is our net. The opponent's net is over on this side, right? Now, this might be a little hard to imagine. I'm going to try to explain this as best as possible. But if you are, say the ball's over on this end of the field, and you're this defender, and say you're playing a zone defense. If you don't know what that means, it pretty much means that each defender is covering a certain portion of the field. There's 5 players on the field at a time for basketball. So it would look something like this usually. I only know this because I used to play basketball, right? This would be a typical zone defense setup. And that's your court and your free throw lines right in this box, right? Imagine that's the court. Let me erase this line really quick. Get rid of some of the confusion here. Bring the ball back. Right? So if the ball is over on this side of the field and you're playing defense, this is your team right here playing defense. Typically what happens is if the ball's over here, this guy is covering this portion right here. He's covering this portion right here. he's kind of in this position right here, covering this zone. That's why it's called a zone defense, because everyone's kind of covering a zone, right? These lines kind of represent what each player is covering at the moment. And so if the ball, say there's an attacker right here, if we change our color, here's our attacker, here's another attacker who has the ball, and he actually passes this ball to him. Okay, the ball's gotten closer, right? Because the ball's closer, it's more in the middle now. This player here, and since the ball's all the way over on this end of the field, and we're playing a zone defense, this guy moves up a little closer to be able to help behind these guys. And this guy, there's nothing going on this side of the field. So again, this guy also kind of cheats up this way and watches this portion of the field, because all the offense is over on this side and there's nothing going on over here. So all these players sort of migrate towards this side of the field a little bit, not too much, obviously, because if a pass comes out this way, you want to be able to get back and cover that. So let's erase all this now. This is looking super crowded. So in the same sense, when it comes to Rocket League, you want to think of yourself kind of like you're playing a zone defense. You're coming up and covering, because the ball's all the way on this side of the field and you're all the way over here, you're coming up and helping your teammate cover this zone. But after your opponent doesn't take the ball this way and he continues to leave to the other side of the field, you don't also continue pushing all the way across. So if this guy, you being where you're at, he can't come this way. If he does, you're there for the challenge. So he brings the ball this way, and then it's your teammate's ball. You're pretty much feeding him, you're forcing him to play the ball into your teammate. But by you driving all this extra length across the field, you're pretty much just making that zone defense kind of not a thing. And now your teammate is forced, where he could have just had a nice free challenge into the ball. You have kind of an awkward side-on challenge on the ball. So that's kind of, I don't know if I did the best job explaining that. Maybe I'll dedicate an entire video to that. I definitely will at some point in time. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe. But I hope you kind of understand what I'm saying. Long story short, I thought it'd be kind of cool to explain this in this analysis, but I think it might have just been a waste of time. Hopefully you got something out of it. And the long story short is that you should never drive across the entire length of the field to challenge a ball. If you have to continue driving across the field, once you get to that halfway point, that should kind of signal you, okay, it's not my challenge. My teammate can challenge, and instead I'll back him up. Because if I'm driving this entire length across the field, my teammate's over here, I'm just gonna let him challenge, I'll back him up. Okay, now after that long drawn out explanation, yeah, right here, because what actually is okay in this scenario, what I was gonna mention at the start of this explanation, the one good thing about this is you hard commit, you full commit, you never decide, okay, I'm not gonna go for this, because that is when the awkwardness occurs, when you make your teammate second guess, when you don't make your intentions clear, right? 99% of the time, you should have done what I explained. But the thing that at least makes this have a higher percentage chance of you guys not double committing for the same challenge, or for your teammate not being confused, or for this to possibly work, the one positive out of this was that you hard committed for this. You never in your head decided, okay, I'm not going to challenge this. You just went full speed at that, and I'm sure your teammate could see that, and that's why he didn't challenge that ball with you. But if he had better control in that corner there, and he actually just went straight up the wall, you wouldn't have had any way to challenge him from this position, right? If he's on the sidewall and he actually continues bringing this upwards and doesn't let it fall down as it is right now, you wouldn't have had a window to challenge him anyways. And that's, again, why it would have been better for your teammate to challenge, because he actually could have shut any play down that this guy starts making. Hopefully you guys understood that tip. My drawing was not good. I'd have to do a more in-depth video on that. Take my time a little bit more. A little bit unfortunate your teammate took the ball to the boost that you ended up taking. Oh no. Yeah, you kind of try to get behind your teammate here, right? To correct your rotation. Because I was gonna say you should be rotating behind your teammate, and that flip that you just used was to try to get around your teammate. You expected your teammate to either take that to the corner, grab the boost, and do something from there, or just hit this straight up to the sidewall. And then he just kind of dud hits it straight into you. So I was trying to figure out if your rotation there was bad or not, and you actually had a pretty decent rotation. You were trying to make the correct positioning correction, just your teammate unfortunately hit the ball into you. Okay, and one thing I'm going to point out now, because this has happened within the last 30 seconds, this has happened 3 times now, and it's making for a super awkward rotation from you and your teammate. You keep hitting the ball and then rotating to the nearest boost. You keep rotating straight back in the same path as the ball, right? He hits the ball past you, and now you make a complete V-line back the same direction as the ball, and you're going for this nearest boost. Instead, this is, again, happened 3 times. Let me point out the 3 times that this has happened now. It was very situational in the first 2 times, but this is now, again, the 3rd time, and it's completely making this very awkward looking. So I'm going to point it out because it clearly is something that needs to be fixed. All right, you hit the ball there, you grab the boost, and then what you could have done to actually avoid this situation sooner was start rotating towards the back post earlier. It's okay in a sense that you didn't. You tried making that adjustment, but it's something that, you know, keep your rotations clean. Stop rotating to the nearest boost. Stop rotating in the same path as the ball. That would have been avoided right there if you had actually swung out earlier. And then here's the 3rd time that happens. I missed the 1st time, but I'm sure if you go back, you can see where you did the same thing. Again, you challenge, and instead of giving your teammate plenty of space and keeping your rotations clean by just getting out of the way, you should have rotated out in this direction, picking up pads on your way, and backing your teammate up here. But you drive, again, straight for the nearest boost, and now you and your teammate are in the same position, covering the same area of the field. You want to try to keep spaced out and rotating properly in a circular motion instead of rotating in the same direction that the ball is going, right? You hit the ball here, you take your 50 here, and instead of turning around and going straight for this boost, pretty much just putting yourself in the same position as your teammates for the next challenge, you should have carried your momentum after the challenge back this way and rotated out around. So just watching this game, this is not a super obvious mistake because it has, again, at this higher level of gameplay, there's a lot of stuff that's super situational. But after it happening 3 times in a row pretty much on your rotations, and me just watching this and the gameplay looking super awkward, positioning looking super messy and awkward, this is what's causing it. You constantly rotating straight back into the play, pretty much straight back at the ball, rotating under the ball, is causing all of this awkward positioning and confusion. Get out of the way for your teammate. Make it clear what your intentions are, that you're rotating behind your teammate and that he can go and challenge the ball, and you'll avoid a lot of this confusion. Keep in mind the term rotate away from the ball. It's been something I've brought up in past replay analysis. Pretty basic term that anyone probably platinum and above needs to know. You always want to be rotating away from the ball. So if the ball is coming down your right hand side of the field and you're rotating back, you should be rotating down the left side of the hand of the field. And then your teammate can challenge the ball and you'll be behind them, backing them up. Oof. Oh, that's an open net. Can't blame your teammate for that one. Just not the best challenge in the corner. He actually just missed the ball. Right? And got demoed. That sucks. But not missing the ball there helps. Should get this boost and ball. Ooh. Nice goal. Nice goal. Yeah. Good job. Okay, here. Your teammate gets that mid boost, right? So you're like, crap, okay, I gotta go back for boost now. But you guys are in a pretty good position because your opponent has no boost. He just did the kickoff with you. And the other guy is actually all the way back in the other corner. So this would have been a really good play to just grab pads and stay upfield with your teammate, because your teammate's got 100 boost. You could pick up pads and get yourself up to probably around 40 boost. And there's a, you know, again, the 1 out of 2 of the opponents has 0 boost or close to it. This is just you have the advantage in this play. So staying on offense here is actually a good idea instead of going all the way back and not supporting your teammate on this play. If your teammate were to have gotten that middle, if he gets that past the one player who has boost, who has decent positioning, then the other guy's kind of screwed and it's probably just a free goal. So make the recognition off of kickoff who's got the advantage. A lot of the time, let me do another fly perspective. This one hopefully won't be as scuffed. I don't really have to use the highlighter very much for this one. I might though. But let's say this ball, right? It doesn't go back towards your opponent's half and it comes to your half. Then you would want to go back for boost because you guys are going to have to play defense. You lost that kickoff. You're at a disadvantage if they're beating you to the ball and they're bringing it into your half. So that's when it would be a good idea to turn to defend. But here, you actually win this kickoff. Your teammate gets the ball. You guys have the boost advantage on the play, right? He's got boost. He's got no boost. You pick up pads. You've got boost. He's got full boost. The ball's in their half. So making the decision to give up on this play just relieves a lot of pressure off your opponents. So make sure you're paying attention to who actually won the kickoff, who's in the better position on kickoff. And if it's you, stay on offense. Again, same thing as earlier, driving straight across the entire field to come challenge this ball. Notice had you not done that and you actually rotated behind your teammate picking up pads after this challenge comes through, you'd be behind him. You'd already be at that mid boost facing the play and you'd be in a prime position for that ball that he just hit straight back. That would have been in your possession. So again, correct your rotations. Keep your rotations circular. Rotate behind your teammate. You know, you got to take turns with your teammate. Your teammate attacks. Either he wins the challenge or he gets beat. And if it goes behind him, then you get a free ball. If it doesn't go behind him, then you're in position to score if he gets the pass. So keep your rotations circular. Don't drive across the entire length of the field to challenge a ball. If you have to drive from one sidewall all the way past the middle line of the field, then you're going too far. Your teammate should be there to cover that challenge. Go for the bump. Don't get it. And right here, okay, I've got a lot to point out. But you are champ 2. You've been all the way up to 1500. So we can afford to point these things out. The little details are what start making the difference at this level of play. So bear with me. But again, keeping an eye on what's happening on the play. The ball's all the way in your opponent's corner. This kind of goes for that zone defense again, that zoning of the field. The ball's all the way. Oh God, we're bringing out the fly again. Look, the ball's all the way on this side of the field. You should not be all the way on this side of the field. If the ball is all the way all the way touching one wall of the field, you should ideally be within like the halfway length of distance. You know what I mean? So you should be realizing, okay, the ball's way over there. I don't have time to go all the way to the other side of the field to grab boost. Instead, you should have been picking up these pads, staying closer in case you need the help. And if your teammate does manage to win this challenge and push it back the other way, then you can make the decision to veer off really quickly for this mid boost and circle back in. But actually, you go all the way over here for this boost. Your zone defense is not on point. Your zoning of the field is not correct. And so this has opened up, now that your teammate hasn't hit that ball, I haven't played this out, but there's a good chance your opponents score, because look at how much distance you have to cover now to get back. We actually play this out. He's taking a dribble. Let's see it from your point of view. How does this play out? Just flicks it past you. So in a perfect world, your teammate doesn't miss that, right? But also in a perfect world, the opponents probably have somebody on that ball at least taking a 50-50. So either way, you should not be all the way on the other side of the field when the ball is all the way on the other side of the field. You know what I mean? You should never be at a complete field's length away from the ball. Nice kickoff goal. We take those. We take those. So far, key things are keeping possession as much as possible. Don't hit balls just straight to your opponent just so they can hit it straight back at you, or so that they can take possession of it. So when you get those free clears, try to clear it towards your teammate, or try to lead your teammate to be able to grab boost and then stay on the ball, right? Anytime you make a touch or a clear or something, try to set your teammate up to be able to do something with it. And then secondly, we've seen you driving across the entire length of the field. We'll just start calling this. We'll start calling this horizontally across the field, right? This would be vertically, we'll say. So we keep seeing you drive horizontally across the entire length of the field to challenge a ball. But if the ball's all the way over here, you're all the way over here, you should be stopping by the halfway line. And if your teammate's still not there to challenge, that's on them, but they should be there to challenge. If you have to drive all the way across the field, that was a misposition by your teammate and they should be there. And actually one of the worst, not worst things you can do, but it almost is never a good idea to try to cover for your teammate's mispositioning. You should just keep yourself where you're supposed to be. Let your teammate realize, oh, I guess that was my ball, my bad, instead of trying to cover for your teammate's mispositioning. Because usually you throw yourself out of play, out of the positioning, and your teammate's probably out of position as well, trying to race back to where he was supposed to be. Just a side tip, don't try to cover for your teammate's lack of presence on the ball. If he should be there and he's not there, let it be. Let him, if he's not there, let him not be there. You stay where you're supposed to be. Let your teammate figure it out. Play defense if you have to, but trying to cover for your teammate's lack of positioning is usually not a good idea. Just out of experience. Keeping your rotation circular, rotating behind your teammate has been another big point. And I think that's it so far. Oh, and keeping proper spacing, I guess you could say. When the ball and your teammate are on one completely separate side of the field, you should not be all the way on the other side of the field. Okay, let's see this. Prep boost. Ball's coming towards your teammate. It's grabbing boost. You should turn and challenge. He's taking his time, kind of putting you in an awkward spot. This one's on your teammate. Needs to be on that ball a little sooner. Don't know why you're diving here. Seems like you might be a little little tilted this game or something with your teammate, thinking he's not playing fast enough or not playing well enough. But that's just a clear dive when it's just a very risky dive. Let's see this. 50-50, shoots off the sidewall. You have the potential to get bumped here. That could go terribly. Ah, man. That's a close one to call. That's a close one to call. Yeah, your teammate could rotate out here. Wow. This has been a very tough replay analysis. I'm not gonna lie, this game's been very awkward. The positioning's been very awkward. The rotations have been very awkward. And in a situation like that, I think you could really benefit from playing more passive. So when you have these games that just seem super awkward, nothing really makes sense. It's just a huge poop show for, you know, trying to keep it PG. It's a huge poop show. Slow down for a minute, fix your rotations, fix your positioning, let your teammate be the aggressor if they want to. But just continuing to play in this state of just chaos and whatnot is not a good way to play. And you're kind of just, you're throwing your win or loss kind of up to chance and up to luck. So just a tip. That challenge, I mean, yeah, after your teammate takes this 50, they could have rotated off. But it's very close to call, and this entire game has been very chaotic. So honestly, you might just want to, in those moments where the game is very chaotic, slow down, play more passive, and just try to be the brains on the field, be the smartest guy on the field, make the most of every situation that you can, and just be the one guy on the field who's using their brain. And that'll get you a lot of free wins, honestly. So if you notice that a game just feels super chaotic, super awkward, a lot of it has been on poor rotations and positioning by you. But if you feel as though it's not, just slow down. Let the poop show resolve itself. Try to take possession of as much as you can. You know, try to play super smart. Because this game has been an utter poop show, bro. This game has been an utter poop show. And when I'm in a game and it just feels like an utter poop show, I just slow down, man. I just play more passive and I just let them do their poopy things, and I just take advantage of their poop show gameplay. take possession, be the smart player on the field, and just, like I said, take advantage of their poop show. That was a nice, cool little twisty do you did. You go back a little bit. Grab the goal pads. I like it. Okay. Looks like the poop is starting to finally run out. The poop show is becoming a little less poopy. Oof, missed the ball again. Couple of whiffs. Not helping your case when it comes to, you know, why you're D-ranking so much. I wouldn't be trying to double tap that, because your setup wasn't very good. Right? Bang. By the time you can get to this ball, with the amount of boost you have and with just how the play is set up, by the time you can get to this ball or into a position to double tap this ball, it's going to be like just arriving at the backboard. So there's going to be almost no angle for you to score this. It's going to be like literally pressed up against the backboard by the time you arrive to the ball. And so there's really no world or a very slim chance you save or you score this. So I would just leave this for your teammate, because what you could end up doing is if you actually hit this ball, you might, if they don't save this, it could just be a free shot on net for your teammate. And that happens a lot. I'm sure you're very aware when your teammate sets up a backboard pass and then they try double tapping it, even though you had a completely free shot had they left it. You're in that exact position right now. You're the teammate who's setting up the easy backboard cleanup shot, but you're trying to double tap it and you could end up just clearing it. So realize when the double tap, not gonna happen most likely. Just leave it for a free shot for your teammate. Again, misexecution. Misexecuting a lot of your plays. So just like, you know, doing more free play, doing a lot of 1v1s. 1v1s, as much as we hate them, are a great way to iron out those little mistakes that you're making. Tip, if you want to be able to play 1v1s and just chill, try to find something to distract your mind a little bit while playing 1v1s. For me, I stream, and the only time I play ones is on stream, and it's super helpful because I'm reading chat between every goal, and it just keeps my mind and energy just distracted from like the rage I might be feeling in a moment. And it just doesn't give me a moment to be angry, really. So find something that you can use, like between every goal that's scored, something that can distract you. Maybe it's like watching a video between goals, or that'd be a cool one. Watching a stream between goals. Find something to distract you while you play 1v1s. Not obviously while you're trying to play the game itself, but between goals, something that takes your mind off of whatever just happened. Whether you score or whether the opponent scores. Just distract yourself in that 5 seconds between goals. That's a really great way to actually mentally be able to withstand playing 1v1s. Nice challenge. Pretty ambitious there, and you're in overtime. I didn't even realize when you went to overtime, but you're in overtime. Okay, we're there. Nice challenge. You already saw your opponent jump, and the ball is way too high for you to get there. So instead of just throwing yourself out of the play here, you could have just gone back, just stretch drive back. Really small window to make that realization, but was that ball really worth going for? Probably not. So you could have left your teammate in a really bad 1v2 there. If the ball was a little lower and you could have reached it to actually 50 it, yeah, sure, that's a decent play. But the ball was too high for you to actually be able to get to that by the time you jumped for it. That's a good touch. See, that touch actually had purpose. Your teammate's rotating back. You see he's grabbing that mid boost. You hit it in that direction, he can turn on it. That's a good touch. That's a touch with purpose. That touch, not so much. Look at this. Look how much space you have. Hit this ball to that mid boost, make a play. Or hit that ball straight in front of the mid boost, right? Even higher IQ play. 500 IQ play. Hit this ball straight in this direction or something. So that way the ball lands about here by the time you grab the boost, and he's screwed. If you do that, instead of doing what you did, take that ball. See, a lot of people would just roll it straight on with the boost so that they can get the boost and the ball go up the wall. Problem with that is by the time you make that play, he'll actually have time to turn and probably challenge you on the wall. 500 IQ play here. Actually set yourself up to 1v1 this guy, really, is what you're doing. Set yourself up to be able to dribble this guy. Set yourself up to where this guy has no option to challenge you. Best play you could have made here was either to catch this and just immediately be in a flickable position. But if you do that, you really can't grab the boost if you catch this, because if you go all the way this way for the boost, again, you're giving him a lot of time to come challenge you. But if you hit this ball, right? Take notes on this. If you hit this ball straight, right up this lane that I just flew past, the ball will land here. You'll have time to come grab this boost. And if he's challenging you, bang, you just chip the ball past him as you land, right? You land here on the boost, the ball's right there. If he's challenging you, I mean, you could pass, you chip the ball past him. If he doesn't challenge, you've got him boned in this position. You know, you're setting, again, 1v1s. 1v1s could be your friend here. You're setting yourself up to just either 1v1 this guy or be able to 2v1 this guy with your teammate. So 500 IQ play there. Oh my God, what am I doing? Set yourself up for the best play possible. I mean, that hit, what does that do? You can't get the boost. You don't have enough boost to really make a play on this. You've hit it to their corner where you can drive up the wall and bang it back to your half. That was an unpurposeful touch. You want to try to keep as much purpose in your touches as possible. And again, diving. You're an OT, baby. One goal makes a difference here. You got to play a little safer. Diving for something you have very little chance of actually coming out of on top. So instead, just drive challenge, just fake challenge. Keep yourself in the play. Look at how long you're out of the play for. Now your teammate's in a 1v2. Not a terrible touch, because if he's not on his game right there, you actually set yourself up okay to be able to go again. It's not a terrible touch. Could have been worse. Could have been better. Could have been worse. Almost had purpose in that touch. Better. You didn't dive that time. You didn't dive. You saw there was no reason for you to go for that. So you just fake challenge. Much better. Much better. Getting a lot of ping pong action right now. Here you could have, again, your big takeaway right now is possession. Purposeful touches, keeping possession of the ball, rotating properly, spacing properly. Those are your big things right now. You could have hit that ball, take a diagonal touch towards the sidewall, and that'll give you time to grab your back right corner boost and then stay on the play for the ball. Or if your teammate goes for that back right corner boost, let him. Don't be the guy who's pissed because your teammate stole your boost, and so you're gonna ball chase and get in his way. If he makes a decision, you know, because at this exact moment where you hit this ball, your teammate could be making the decision to go for the back right corner here. So if he does that, if you can't grab the back right corner boost, let your teammate grab the back right corner boost, and then he can stay on the ball. But that would have been the best play there. Hit this, roll this up the sidewall while you grab the back right corner boost, or if you can, keep it as close to the back right corner boost as you can, right? Get a touch towards your back corner as much as possible, towards that back right sidewall as much as possible, so that you're keeping the ball as close to you as possible while also being able to grab your back corner boost and set yourself up to be able to make a better play. Decent pass, should be a goal. Ooh, gotta finish. That was game right there. You should have won. If you lose this game, you're gonna be wishing you scored that. Again, 1v1's great for improving your open net finishes. Nice job there. Not double committing with your teammate, but covering an option where if your teammate doesn't go for it, you can go for it. But then once you see your teammate goes for it, you back off. That was good. That was good decision making there. Nice challenge. Got the mid boost on spawn. Good try. Oh no. Oh no. Ooh. Poor touch by your teammate. But as much as you might have wanted to blame your teammate for this loss because of that stupid play at the end, don't forget you had a completely open net to score. And, you know, you had plenty of mistakes this game. Not trying to dog on you, just trying to make sure that everybody watching this realize you should never dog on your teammates, because a lot of the time your teammates are playing badly because of what you're doing. They're having to respond and react to what you're doing. That's putting them in bad situations to begin with, like we've said this video. A lot of rotational and positioning mistakes by you. Rotating underneath the ball, you want to rotate away from the ball. Rotate behind your teammate. Keep your rotations as circular as possible. Spacing. When the ball's on one complete side of the field, you should not be on the complete other side of the field. You should kind of be a half of the field away from the ball at most. You know what I mean? Or maybe at most 3/4 of the field away from the ball. If we're talking vertically, that is. Or we're talking horizontally, I'm sorry, this direction. The ball's all the way on that sidewall. You should not be all the way over on this sidewall. You should probably be around the midfield line. So rotation, positioning, possession was another huge takeaway from this. A lot of opportunities for you to keep the ball close and make better plays, but instead you just boom the ball away from yourself and your opponents get a free touch because you boomed it back to them. A lot of just little tiny mechanical errors that could be ironed out by playing some 1v1s. A lot of little whiffs, missed open net, and whatnot like that. Scored a couple, you scored that nice flip reset. I don't remember the rest of your goals, but that was a little highlight of the video. Good job on that. And last little, extra tip I gave you was when the game's just feeling like a poop show, you have no idea what the heck is going on. Everyone is just ball chasing. Everything is so random. It's super chaotic. Don't keep playing into that. Don't keep feeding into that energy. Be the one smart player on the field. Use your brain, slow down, figure out what's going wrong, take advantage of your opponent's mistakes. Don't be a part of the poop show. All right, don't be a part of the poop show. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the analysis. It was a really long one today, but it was, man, I wish we had time to go back and watch the replay in its entirety, just played out without me pausing it at all. Because that was just super hectic, super chaotic, super messy game. And pausing it every 5 seconds probably didn't make it any easier to follow along with. But I hope you learned something from this video. And if you did, again, and you've made it all the way to the end, if you made it all to the end, comment below and say banana cheese pie. Because that'll let me know that you actually watched the whole video. You made it to the end. That's crazy because my recording says 49 minutes right now. Hopefully I can shorten it up a little bit. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, submit your replay analysis to my Discord, link in the description in the replay analysis chat channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. This is a good one. This was a good episode of, good replay analysis. A lot of information. You might need to watch it again tomorrow. Maybe right now if you've really got the time to sit through another 50 minutes. But man, there was a lot to take away from this game. All right, peace out. Bye.